Not start like we did the other week then.
Yeah.
Don't start that again.
No comment.
Turn it on silent, I think.
Good evening, Boro fans and everyone else out there. Welcome to the Monday Night Social here at the Longlands Club. With me, James Hutchinson. Join me tonight is AJT.
Back again. Hello.
Welcome to the show, mate.
Thank you.
It's certainly been a week of contrast this week from the calamitous cup exit down in Newport and all the fallout that came with that game to the high-octane, fully charged, committed performance against Leeds at the weekend, mate. Nearly delivered 3 points, so we'll talk about that a little bit further on in the show. Not only will we look back at those 2 games, but we're also going to look ahead to 2 tough fixtures the Boro have got this week on the road. They're going to Sheffield United and Blackburn Rovers. So as always, Boro fans, fans of other clubs as well, join us tonight, get involved with the debate, let us know what you think and where you think our season's heading. Lots to talk about as always. Anyway, before we get on with tonight's show, just a couple of things to say. We'd all like to say a big well done to both sets of fans at the game on Saturday for what they did on the 22nd minute for their tribute towards Luke Jobson. Well done, Boro and Leeds fans, for that. It was fantastic to see. And it's also pleasing to see Leeds player Jack Clark on the mend following his medical scare at the match at the weekend. And just finally, just to say quick condolences to the family of Mick Kennedy, former Boro player in the 80s, midfield hard man, who passed away at the weekend. Right, AJT,
yes.
On with the show, mate.
Yes.
Sorry to do this, but I'm briefly going to have to take you back 6 days to the FA Cup defeat down at Newport.
James, thank you. No more triangular corner flags.
No,
nice one, Boro. I mean, it's the only thing I wanted this season. If it wasn't promotion, give me the triangular corner flags, but another season we have to wait, mate.
Yeah,
you
well,
know.
it's going to have to wait for another year. I've got to say, in over 40 years of watching the Boro for me, that's probably one of the most inept performances I've ever seen from a team representing us. Could you believe what you were witnessing down there last Tuesday?
Listen, let me picture. Let me just let you all into an insight. We travelled, mate, and it felt like you were in the van for 24 hours. I think we set off at, 11? We got there at 5:30. Before the game, we went to obviously go to the tribute to Salah, which was really touching. I mean, there's so many scarves there and, people writing poems and notes. Then we went to the old, Millennium Stadium, seen the gate well into it, and I thought, this is all going to look good. I've seen the gate where Boro won the cup. And me and my dad stood there getting emotional, as you do, father and son, reminiscing the day. Gets to Newport. Now, another thing on Newport, before the game, he had this little, David he's called, young rapper from Newport.
I saw that, yeah.
Decent, talented lad. He had a decent tune, told a story. I think to myself, we're going to win this here. We're going to look really good tonight.
God.
Walks round this council estate. He finds their way in. We're all soaked. James's jacket turned purple by that point. He was soaked, and everyone else I was with went to the turnstile. Right now, the turnstile normally turns. That's why it's called a turnstile. It didn't move.
It's probably telling you something there, mate. Like not to go in.
But everybody.
Or someone else.
It was kind of like a gap like this, and everybody was just walking past it, and I thought, right, so nobody's gonna get caught in whatever. But the bar was the players' lounge. I found that out later on in the video. How much we were. Smart little place, nice and not about the same size as this, maybe it's a little bit bigger. Stood in there looking at the rain, thinking, and they had a big screen. I was on in the big screen, or you can go outside, whereabouts is literally a couple of meters away. Got into a seated seat. James stood with no cover on. I got kicked out there because obviously my seat wasn't in there. I got sent to the go and stand with James, get soaked. And to be honest, it was so disappointing. But you see all the stuff. Boro fans are fighting Boro fans towards the end. Right. You see the carry on with the players and the fans, and at that moment in time, then I thought this is it, an all-time low for me. Yeah. The 500 plus Boro fans, the game itself, mate. Let's be one shot on target. Yeah. That's a joke. And when people say, I know, but it's Newport that beat Leicester, right? But let's go away from the FA Cup scenario, right? Newport, a mid-table team. The fans are coming out saying that they don't think they're going to get relegated. They don't think they're even going to go up. Yeah. The League Two, the mid-table. That is banter, right, when they're beating you 2-0. Yeah. And you're having one shot on target.
You know what? In fairness, I think we were lucky to get away with 2-0, to be honest, because the first half it could have been 3 or 4 at half-time, couldn't it?
Dibby saved us, but I looked at it and I just thought, did we even want to win that game? We didn't look interested. No. You get at the post, and even he looked bothered the fact that he hit the post if he did something wrong, but...
I tell you what, we go some lengths to avoid playing Man City, don't we? We get beaten up to Burton Albion, then we lose to Newport. So I mean, but I think we always try to maybe remain a bit balanced and have a positive outlook. But with that display, it was virtually impossible to find anything positive that night, wasn't it?
It was, you know, there's a few players that I was looking forward to seeing, the likes of Lewis Wing, who I thought disappointed. Dale Fry tried on the right-hand side, but he couldn't do anything.
Wasn't happening, no.
And as soon as he brings on Rudy Gestead, Ashley Fletcher, the game's finished. Yeah. I'm not being, well, should I say, Rudy Gestead, he is what he is, and he did what he did, if it's true or not, whatever, but for when he comes on the pitch, he doesn't offer us anything. And Ashley Fletcher's still, I would say, learning the game. He doesn't get his chance everywhere. He's still trying to, you know, adapt. And I just looked around me and I just thought, us fans don't deserve that. We didn't deserve to travel all that way, a 12-hour, 11-hour, 10-hour round trip for, where, you know, where these Boro fans have come from. Yeah. For us to be stood there, the minority, if you like, stood in that soaking wet away end, thinking, we've seen nothing. We didn't see anything that was going to get us G'd up or anything that was going to get us behind the team. Yeah. And the boost at the end, they probably were deserved that night. I hate to say it, but they probably were deserved. At the end of the day, when you go on a Newport or a League 2, and you're one shot on target, a daft little flick on the 90th minute.
And you're well beaten.
Just take the booze on the chin. Yeah, you probably deserve them because it was absolute shot and display. Yeah. And when you represent the Middlesbrough Football Club, you hang your head in shame after that performance. It was embarrassing.
Yeah. Like, I think Joe Scott, you've hit the nail on the head there, Joe. Newport definitely wanted it more on the night. Yeah. I mean, I think that's it. It wasn't the fact that we got beat. Teams can get beat. Better teams than us have lost at Newport in the past. Yeah. It was the manner of the defeat. Yeah. And like you say, I think the big talking point after the game was the alleged confrontations that have happened between various players and fans. And it just topped off a bad night. And like you say, what was your take on that situation, AJ?
With the whole players and the fans, I'm stood doing interviews. I see a commotion. Obviously, James is stood like he is now with like that, and the away end's there. I'm seeing the commotion kicking off. We've heard a few moments later, Gested's told someone to do one and put in, obviously, you know, in a swearing sort of term. Apparently, Clayton came over and did this message. I look at the team sheet on Saturday, and it said it all for me. Gested was nowhere near the squad. I seen the club said that they were satisfied with what had happened or whatever, but apparently one player, and apparently this is true, apparently one player was sat down in front of the club and he reacted aggressively. Right. Now, the player that was left out the squad, I think he put two and two together, and there's your answer to who, you know, at the end of the day, Rudy Gestede, if it is true what he's done, you're not exactly a fan favourite, obviously at the minute. You're not getting your game. The last thing you want to do is do that to any sort of fan. I don't care who you play for. You could play for a team in Saudi Arabia and do it. But the fact of the matter is when you're representing our club, and listen, we travel all over with obviously Middlesbrough. We go, you know what I mean, we went all the way to Windhoek, we've been here, there, everywhere with the team. But when a player comes out and swears at a bunch of fans that have travelled that distance, paid £20 a ticket plus the petrol money, which must be about 100 quid to get to Wales, you then...
I think that's a kick in the teeth,
You then... If I was Pewes, I would have terminated his contract the next day. And told him to get out the door, because there's no way in this world you can be accepted back. No way on earth can you put this back on again.
I think Matthew Groves, he agrees with you, AJ. He just said when Gusted plays, it's like playing with 10 men.
Gusted doesn't offer nothing.
But and again, Lee Bailey, thanks for watching, Lee. I think the Man City game is a game that Newport clearly wanted more. It's a luxury game to them, whereas if we've played them recently and it doesn't excuse the performance we put in, but it's clear they wanted to play City. I get that. In terms of the abuse, for me personally, I don't know. I think fans are entitled to criticise the players, but I think what you've got to realise is if you're going to get personal with players and give them some stick, you might get some back.
Yeah, of course you will.
I think that's going to happen, and they're only human, the players, like Gusted at the end of the day, and he's probably frustrated for whatever reason since he's come to the club. It's not worked out for him. He's not done particularly well. Yeah. And he's probably just thought, you know what, I'm going to give it back here. Rightly or wrongly, he's shown a bit of passion there, which I wouldn't mind him showing on the pitch. But as you say, people have spent a lot of good money, put holidays in, taking time off work, whatever, to go down there in that performance. Not just Rudy Gusted, the whole team.
I put holiday in for the Wednesday.
It was poor that night, so I can understand why people are really upset.
Listen, I mean, for the guy to turn down and move to Millwall, give Rudy, man. 20k a week at the end. I mean, listen, as you say there, it's passion. And it's the fans giving it. So you can see it from both sides. What it is we just don't appreciate it. Let's be real. As fans of a football club, when we're paying a player's wage and he's picking up 20k a week and he's giving it to the fans, you think, do it in the proper manner. You don't have to tell us to do one. Just say, I'm sorry, we're going. It's something like that. I mean, Pulis, after the game, obviously, you know, we were allowed access to sort of like the side of the pitch, do an interview, and he shook my hand. I said, look up, I said, look up, we go again. He looked at me in the eye and said, you know, that's what it is, we go again. Exactly. That's all it takes. That's all Gusted has to say is, look, I'm sorry for tonight, be okay for the club, but we go again. Yeah. You know, if he's decided to stay here after turning down and move to Millwall, he obviously wants to try and do something to try and get in the team and try and be that. You know what I mean? Try and be that player, but it's one of them where he hasn't helped himself by doing what he's done. No,
he's made it difficult for himself. Anyway, we'll move on from Newport now. All I think we need to say before we leave the Newport thing is best of luck to them against Man City. Great game for them. Hope they do well.
The guy that scored past us was at Tesco 9 months ago to shout to all the club cards.
There you go. So it's up for you, mate. 9 months' time. You could be knocking somebody out the FA Cup, mate, yeah?
Oh, I hope so. I hope so for the Gusted, but you know, these things happen.
Yeah, good stuff.
I say Lee Bailey, make a good point. Gusted only human to react.
Yeah. So. Yeah, but like I say, you've got to. I think when he looks at it in the cold light of day, he'll probably think, "I wish I hadn't done that."
Yeah, absolutely.
But at the time, I understand we're all humans. We react the way we do. So with all that going off in the background, we only had Leeds coming to the Riverside as our next visitors. However, probably arguably that was the best fixture we could have wished for. There was over 30,000 in the ground on Saturday. And the fans took up Tony Pulis's call, like you said there, and they gave the players, I thought, fantastic backing throughout the match. And the players responded with one of the best home displays of the season. Do you think that, in a way, though, was down to the way that Leeds play? Because I think maybe their style suits us a little bit, because they come out and try and play football. They are quite on, whereas many teams that come to the Riverside maybe sit back and try and frustrate us. They actually came out and tried to impose their game on us. Do you think that allows us to maybe play how we do away from home, maybe picking teams off on the counter-attack a little bit?
I think the first 15 minutes, we were sort of backs to the wall. They had a lot of the ball.
Did at the beginning.
Glick nearly scored off the volley. Bamford got played in on his right foot. But I agree with you there. I think, you know, we were a lot of the time, we were just counter-attacking them. You know, they missed a chance. One from Savile, which I thought was literally... Obviously, I know you sit behind the goals. I don't know, stand out close. How close was Savile to scoring the first shot that you had?
I think there was one the keeper saved.
Saved it, yeah.
Yeah. I think the keeper was quite comfortable. I think he was a bit for the cameras. I think, But like you say, I think first 10 minutes Leeds were on the front foot. They had that shot that went wide. I think Bamford put one wide as well. But I think we grew into the game as the first half went on. I thought we were the better side in the first half.
I thought first half wise, I saw the fans around me at half time. We could have been 2-3 up, and I don't think it wouldn't have been sort of undeserved. Because I thought, after the first 10 minutes, we sorted up everything they give to us. Then we went for, Wing could have played in Howson, but he chose to have the shot. Was unlucky. Yeah. Flint, was it ever going in? That chance that he had.
What's going on with him? I mean, he's a centre half that we bought. Not only for what he does defensively, but he scored 12 goals for Bristol City this year. He scored in our first home game against Sheffield United. And he must be making his own DVD of classic Cities to miss every week now.
I know, yeah.
He missed 2 great ones again on Saturday. I mean, big man, you drew a goal. You've got to get us a goal soon. But the 2 that he missed in the first half on Saturday were incredible. One virtually under the bar.
Yeah.
And then one where I think Shotton put in a great ball. And he was just outside the 6-yard box. And he somehow just... more or less failed to connect with the ball completely.
I think there was one in the second half as well, where Besic ran down right by the south side and put one across the box, but a bit too much pace in it, and I think Ugo was literally seconds away from meeting it. But last Monday I think it was when you said, these are the players we've got, this is the manager we've got to the end of the season, we have to get together. And I was thinking about that on Saturday, and I thought that's what we need to do. And what you said there was a bit of sense. It was in the sense of, we can't change things from now to the end of the season. We can only go one way.
And we've got to support these lads, haven't we?
That's it. And, realistically, we all want to see Boro go up, whether we're ready or not. Come the end of the season, if we don't go up, everyone will be devastated. We want that promotion. If you want the promotion, like you said there, we've got to get behind the team. And on Saturday, the atmosphere in that stadium was 90 minutes. It was booming. Everyone was getting behind the team. And I talked to a friend today and I said, if we can... I don't think we'll have that sort of attendance for the rest of the season.
No, because you're not going to have teams that are going to bring 4,500 every week. And like it or loathe it, I think a lot of people went there because it is a big game when you play Leeds.
Yeah, massive.
Some call it a Yorkshire derby. It's just a big game. And I think that attracted a lot of people. It wasn't on the television. So there was plenty of people thinking, I'll go to that on Saturday. I fancy that. And I think it all added to a good crowd. I dare say what I would like to see maybe the club do just be a little bit proactive is, I know they've done it in the past where they've done ticket offers, and I think there's some games which are hard to sell, which people aren't going to pay £30 for a ticket. So why not make an offer for games like that where you can get more people in and just support the players?
You could do like 2 for £30, and I don't think it's enough £15 each.
I know they've done it in the past, I would like them to do that again. There was a lot of love from our viewers for various players and their performances at the weekend. John Obi Mikel, again, another big performance.
What a player. What a player. Second time I've watched him now, but I've got to say, I come out the stadium on Saturday and I just thought, you know, even for our first goal, Howson played off the straight pass, but he was straight into him. Ball out wide, ball in the box, 1-0. He is, and I'm not just saying because he plays for the Boro, but he's got to be, if not the best Championship midfielder right now on form. I don't know a better midfielder in the Championship right now that's better than John Obi Mikel.
He's a good player. I mean, I know there was one or two people questioned when we got him and said, what, you're getting him for? Defensive midfielder. But if he's a defensive midfielder, some of his play going forward puts some of our other midfielders to shame. He can pick a pass and he looks comfortable in possession, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Whenever he gets the ball and a player's charging at him, it doesn't look like he needs to pass out quickly. In fact, he can just shrug you off him. He's a big lad, John Obi Mikel. And it was like you were saying before, obviously in his interview after the game, and he was saying about how, you know, there's no big time charges at the club. And now he gives 110%. You can see that he does give that and more.
Yeah, and look what he's achieved in the game. He could be a big time child, but he's not. He's just fitted in. He's always been at the club for ages, hasn't he? And he just looks composed. A bit of class about the man. Good player. I know one too. Jack Hunter there, shot and really impressed him on Saturday. I mean, again, he's suffered from a long-term injury. He's come back in, and again, he's fitted in really well. Lee Bailey, I thought Mikel was nothing but a crab, like Anchorman, but he is so much more than that, Spot on, Lee, he's just a quality player. Who else caught your eye on Saturday at the weekend?
Thought Wing had a terrific game. I was so gutted to see the lad go off injured. Was it to be expected after Newport and, you know, the pitch and the conditions and everything else? Was it to be expected that he went off injured? But again, Wing, and I think in a few years' time you'll see that guy at the Premier League, and I would say this now, in a top 6 team. That's Lewis Wing could be, because
I don't think that's a bad shout, mate.
He's a young lad. 2 years ago, right, he was playing Northern League football. He wasn't even in whereabouts he is now. And to go up against a goalkeeper that's won so much and score past him, it's going to boost his confidence.
That was just a bit of quality. The way he took that ball, I think he gave the keeper the eyes, didn't he?
He the eyes, put it in the other corner.
And he just composed again. And somebody like you say, with so little experience of playing at that level, and he can deliver in a big game like that. I mean,
24 years old of age, and the guy is coming on leaps and bounds, and Lewis Wing feels like every time you watch him, he's been playing in like the Premier League and then dropped down a division. And that's what you get with Lewis Wing. He's such a talented kid, and I think those Boro fans know just how valuable he is. If he doesn't play, we miss that creative spark. And I think go on.
I'm just going to say I think he obviously went off. He couldn't carry on. He was obviously injured, and the big worry is hopefully we're not going to miss him for future games, because he does add a lot to our team and our midfield. I was also impressed, like you've touched on earlier a little bit, about George Saville. I think him and Howson worked quite well at the weekend, didn't they?
I think that's what it is. The way we set up, when you see it and people see the 5 at the back, then you see sort of Mikel was holding that sort of defensive role. But when it's Howson, Saville and Wing, them 3 sort of go as attackers. They just push on. And them, I think it was the same at West Brom. I think them 3 were playing exactly the same. And you're seeing the attackingness on the counter-attack when you've got Howson running the ball. He's got Saville and Wing and Hugill. And them, like I say, man, I think you're playing now at home. Them 4, that's such a talented, quick sort of, let's just get attack going straight away.
I think they've got confidence in what Mikel's doing behind them. And they think, we've got a bit of licence to go forward, because we know he's there behind. He's not going to drop too far back, but he's also going to give us the ball. We're going to get the ball off him. And I think they've got confidence in him doing that. Another shout I would just like to make quickly is George Friend. He has his critics, and he doesn't always get things right, but you know what? He never hides. And I thought on Saturday he was in amongst it, already putting some great challenges, putting some good balls. I mean, he set up Wing for the goal, and he was up and down. I mean, yes, he may well not be the player that he was 2 or 3 years ago, but you can never criticise him for commitment and effort. I mean, again on Saturday.
Like I say, man, his effort and the way that he gives it for the badge is second to none. You know, he's fantastic. And like I say, that every single week he turns up, he's there. And he gives it, no matter if he's having a bad game or a good game. He tries to put things right, as you say there. He got found out a couple of times for his one skill move that he always does.
The cut inside.
To show them cuts inside. It didn't work at Newport, George. It hasn't worked against Leeds. Maybe he's trying the other wing now, trying to do your right foot. You never know. Just try and do something different. But like I say, George Friends, I thought Dale Fry, first half, disappointing. I was a little bit disappointed with Dale on Saturday, if I'm honest.
I think, do you know what? I like Dale Fry, and I think he's going to be a really good defender. I don't know whether he's maybe suffering a little bit from a lack of confidence at the minute. He just seems a little bit unsure himself, but I think in a way that might not be helped by the fact he's been asked to play a lot of positions across the back, hasn't he? He's been moved from right wing back. He played left of the 3 centre-halves on Saturday, so he's getting moved about a bit. He's still a lad that's learning his game. and I'm sure he is going to be a really good defender. But like I say, he's maybe suffering a little bit from confidence. Interesting few points here. A few people are making about Lewis Wing. Matthew Groves' wing, he's bringing excitement back to the Riverside. David Pickles' wing is a poor man's Gaston. Well, yeah, but Lewis Wing never played for Uruguay, first of all. He's not like a full international, like you said. He's playing
Wing isn't a
football.
snake. Wing does not want to go to Leicester. Wing is not a snake. So, yeah, Wing is he's quality.
Yeah.
If one day he'll have a Ballon d'Or. Him and Pogba, you think Pogba's good, you watch Lewis Wing play. Honest, you watch Lewis Wing play. No, it's true.
I honestly think you're right about him playing the Premier League.
I
think if he continues the rate that he's going, he'll definitely be a Premier League player.
Yeah.
Hopefully with the Boro next year, that would be
Who
ideal.
knows, like I say, but Lewis Wing, he's coming on leaps and bounds, and I think it was the right time to slot him in when we did. And he just looks like he can hold his own, but he looks like at the minute, when he gets the ball, he's going forward, trying to pick the pass. He never really goes backwards.
Yeah.
You know, and he's not afraid to have a shot from the into the box the other day. He could have had options on, but he tried to go for the shot, and then of course, second shot that he did have went straight in the bottom corner. So you know, he's coming on very, very well.
The only thing with me a little bit I was disappointed with regards to what happened at Newport then into Saturday was, do you think in a way in that final half hour against Leeds on Saturday we paid the price for playing much of our first team at Newport on a heavy pitch? And I also think what maybe changed the game is they brought Hernandez on, and I think he made a big difference to them when he came on.
Yeah, he did.
Because he was starting to pick up. I mean, you can't deny Roof and Bamford have good movement, and he was picking them out with some lovely balls. And we withstood the pressure for a long while, because the last 20 minutes they were hammering on that door. And I mean, Randolph made some great saves. Bamford, I think, had a bit of a nightmare on Saturday. He missed some sitters.
Oh, it was great seeing him miss that save in front of the North Stand.
But it was a sickener when they got that equaliser, wasn't it, mate?
It was always coming, and I hate to admit it because I know the battle between Leeds and the Boro, but I just felt it was always coming. Before the incident that happened to Jack Clark, and obviously, as you said before the show started, you know, I wish them all the best. Before then, they were coming on to us, they were building up the pressure.
Yeah.
And I thought after that incident, I thought, oh, it's going to be all right now. But 12 minutes got added on. Now, I don't know if it was 12 minutes, I'm going to be honest. We worked out last night for about the 4th time. It's 9 minutes is what it worked out as. 82nd minute.
I can see why it was maybe 12, because I thought there was 6-7 minutes they were treating the lad that was injured.
Yeah.
Then you had 6 subs in the second half. Well, I normally say it's 30 seconds for every sub, so there's another 3 minutes. When Wing went off, that was a little while before he went off, and I just thought, I was expecting maybe 10 to go, 11 at a push. It went to 12. Like you say, it's funny how you see the game, because we came out after the match and we had a chat, and you thought we deserved to win.
Yeah, I did. No, I did, because
I'll be honest, I thought a draw was probably a fair result and reflection of the play.
When I look back at it and I looked at the stats, and I don't really look at the stats very often. Well, see, I don't think that defines the game. People might say I'm wrong, but it's one of them where I remember Boro played Brentford. If this is going on stats, and you know Brentford should have beat us then, because I remember I think it was the early kick-off. We beat them 1-0. They battered us possession shots right. So does that mean then that Brentford should have won the game? No, it doesn't. It's about who takes the chance at the end of the day. The Boro didn't have much possession. Okay, and Boro only had a couple of shots, but at least we made it clinical. They had many leads in the squad, and that's how it goes. The draw was probably a fair result in the end. Although Leeds fans probably said that they deserved to win it because, of course, Randolph's double save. But I just felt like in the first half, on another day, we go into the break 3-0 up. It's like we did against Sheffield United at the start of the season. When against Sheffield United, everything that we touched against Sheffield United in that first half went in. We went in the break 3-0 up. On another day, we go in 3-0. Leeds come out and they don't have a sniff. And that consolation goal is the one that goes in at the end. That's how it ends. But
it could have been.
To concede it so late on, it was one of them. As soon as the corner came in, the game obviously went back across. You knew there and then exactly what was going to happen.
It's disappointing that they're goal in off a set piece as well. I think that's what will probably get Tony Pulis for all the players that they've got, like we said there about Hernandez and the balls he was putting through, and the forwards have got to let a goal in off a set piece where I think Ayala lost Janssen for the first header. And then
Shotton or someone, wasn't it?
And then whoever had
Calvin, whatever his name is. Calvin
Phillips. But there was like 3 or 4 Boro players around him as well, and he got the head. I mean, fair play to him, he's reacted, but it's disappointing to let a goal in that way, isn't it? You haven't been cut open, you've let a goal in off a set piece in the last minute.
It was one of them where about on set pieces this season, okay, we looked a little bit sloppy here and there, but at least we've always defended them. And I mean, going off the amount of corners that they had in that game, and then to concede the one later on. I say, I always felt like a goal was coming for them, but before the Jack Clark incident happened, if we'd gone 2 up front, I believe that we would have got the second goal in the game and killed it off.
Now, do you think he didn't go two up front because he'd lost wing, and he was a little bit worried about not being able to supply him, so he thought, you know what, I can't go two up top now. And I mean, Hugel ran himself into the ground, didn't he? He couldn't have done any more.
If Wing doesn't get injured, he goes two up front, doesn't he? To bring on Besic and Clayton, he was listening, man. It was a defensive move at the end of the day. I probably wouldn't have brought on Clayton, if I'm honest with you. He is a bit too defensive for me. And at times, we do play like 6 at the back when he's on the field. And I get that we have to defend because, of course, like you say, Hernandez would come out. And at half-time, there was a lot of people around me, including the fan that wasn't even a Boro fan, but, you know, I kept that one quiet. He went to me, Hernandez is a good player. And I went, right, mate, that's as much as I want to hear about you because I know you don't support the team that I support. But it was one of them. It was disappointing. But to go out the stadium, if we go on the first half and second half, you know what, mate, probably is a fair result as a draw. But of course, I'm going to say Boro deserve to win. When don't we deserve to win the game?
Yeah, no, good point. I mean, Jack Hunter, I like this interesting thing to debate. In the north stand, someone threw the ball in the opposite direction when they had a corner. That was karma. Hopefully they will learn. All I will say to that is, Jack, from many visits I've had to Welland Road, I think the last couple of years ago when Gary Monk was manager, I think Leeds fans were throwing the ball all over the place when we were chasing the game when it was 2-1 with a few minutes to go. So it's not just Boro fans that do it. I think Leeds fans and lots of other clubs do it. It's, like I say, it's just unfortunate. I don't think that maybe added up to the 12th minutes on the referees. What he added on at the end. Bamford enjoy his 3 goals. Yeah, I think it's just one of those things. Sometimes players go back to old clubs and they either really do it or they didn't, and whatever, it just didn't happen for him on Saturday.
Against Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, he never does it. He has a nightmare every time.
Only had 3 1-on-1s and missed them all. And you look at Bamford, but he had that one in front of us. He had the open goal against the North. And listen, it's great that Bamford missed them all, but you know, it is what it is, isn't it?
He's still a quality player, but he had an off day.
Listen, Bamford's got great movement and he knows about the goal is, but against the mighty Boro, he couldn't do it, could he? So it is what it is. And all season, Leeds, as bitter as we're going to be, you know what I mean? They were only able to take 2 points off us, so happy days. I don't think this will be the last we see of Leeds this year, mate. I think we're going to come across them again. Read into that what you think, but I think we're going to be playing Leeds again this season at some point. You know what? I probably will agree because I don't, as much as I want to say Boro to finish in the top 2, I don't think it will be. I honestly think it'll be Norwich. And I think it might be West Brom that sneak into there.
I'd agree with you there.
West Brom are sort of winning games, but they're kind of staying in and around that position. Or Sheffield United. Sheffield United could be dark horse in this
dangerous, people don't really seem to mention them and discount them a little bit. And obviously we want to talk about them in the minute because we've got them on Wednesday night. Just going back to the Newport situation, cup games in general, Colin Fryatt's made a good point. Thanks for watching, Colin. What happens next season if we do go up? Do we say again that the cups don't count and we need to concentrate on staying up?
Listen,
I think that's true. I think that's just the way of football now, isn't it, mate? That people concentrate on the league rather than the cups.
I think if we went up, we have to concentrate on the league. It is an essential. Based on the last time Boro went up, and let's be real, I saw the Boro fans in the concourse for the game and we talked about the season Boro went up. In that Premier League season, we were a bit embarrassed. One win away all season. And at home we got turned over by teams that realistically thought we could have got something off. The likes of Watford 1-0, the likes of Southampton at home. If we go up, we've got to make sure that we're ready. And if we go up, I think as much as I want triangular corner flags, we have to put them on hold for a few seasons because to solidify yourself in that Premier League is the most important thing.
It's all about the money staying up there, isn't it?
It's all about the money. And, you know, if we get in through the back door, be in the playoffs, then fantastic, but the last thing we want to do is go up, everyone get drawn to Chelsea away and get lured into that one and get beat by Watford again. You know, something like that. You've got to be. We all want to be in the Premier League like we were for all them years growing up, you know what I mean, and everything else. To solidify ourselves in the Premier League, that's the main objective for me before I have to go up.
Good shout. Well, SUFC 1. We're going to talk about the game now on Wednesday night at Bramall Lane. What you're thinking about Wednesday. We've got 2 tough away games this week, mate. We've got high-flying Sheffield United on Wednesday. First of all, I think they'll still be smarting a bit from what happened to them on Friday night at Villa Park, blowing a 3-goal lead in the last 8 minutes. I mean, what did you make of that? I couldn't believe that.
Well, first of all, cheers for Aston Villa for letting me have to go down on Friday night. I proper appreciate losing out on 40 quid. Billy Sharp goes off, everything falls on the toilet for him, but you can see now that on Wednesday night, well, who've got to shut down? You've got to shut down Billy Sharp.
22 goals in the league this season.
It's
That's
amazing.
Some going that, innit?
He's a pure championship player. I mean, listen, let's be right. I know he spent a few years down League One, but the majority of his career spent inside the Championship. He knows all about how to play in the Championship, mate. It's going to be rock hard. Listen, we went there last year. Within 30 seconds, we were 1-0 down. And what I took from last year's game was they just come at you with
they come out flying.
relentless. Yeah, relentless.
Yeah, I think what didn't help us last year, if I remember rightly, mate, we went 2-0 down quite early, and then was it Leadbitter got sent off?
Leadbitter got sent off
in the first half, and then second half we came out with 10 men. Ayala scored, and we put them under pressure.
Fabio came on, and Fabio was all over the pitch.
Changed the game, yeah. He was like centre half, wing back. He was all over the place. And like I say, but yeah, you know for a fact they're going to come flying out the traps on Wednesday. Sheffield United fan thinks it'll be 2-0 Boro.
But Jamie
I think we're going to fall apart, mate. I think you've done so well this season. To be up where you are now, I don't think you're a team that's going to fall apart now. I think Sheffield United are going to be up there.
Get a win on Wednesday and that'll be 7 points out of 9.
Yeah, do you know what?
Jamie.
I remember Joe was on the show with us a few weeks ago before these 3 games, and he said, I fancy us to get 7 points from West Brom, Leeds and Sheffield United. I was like thinking, we get 7 points from those 3 games. That's an amazing return. It could happen, but I'm not counting my chickens that we're going to get 3 points. It's a tough place to go, isn't it?
Like I say, you know, it is a hard away game. They make it difficult for you at Sheffield United, they do. And when you go there, you've got to dig in for 90 minutes plus. If Boro are to get anything, we've got to be on our game, mate, 100%. Now, I know a lot of games are coming thick and fast, but we need to get the extra sort of day to prepare for Blackburn play on the Sunday. And it probably benefits us in a pretty good way. A lot of games will come in, but we know that until the end of the season. It's going to be rock hard on Wednesday. There's no hiding away from it. If they take the early lead, you just hope and pray that they don't capitalise on it like they did last season. Mate.
So with that in mind, mate, go on, give us your prediction for Wednesday night. Get yours ready, James and all, mate.
I've got a number in my head. I'm probably going to say I take a 2-1 Boro, mate.
2-1 Boro?
I take a 2-1, but only if we go 2 up front.
Right. So, Mr. 9, I think he's agreed with you, yeah?
Boro
only struggle when teams are sitting back. Bring on United, 2-1 Boro. 2-1. What do you reckon, James?
I reckon a draw, 2-2.
2-2. I'm going to go for a draw, go for a 1 each as well. I fancy a draw. So, that'd be 5 points from those 3 games, which wouldn't be a bad return, to be honest, would it?
You take it though, wouldn't you? Before the West Brom. Listen, man, who thought Boro would have beat West Brom? I know we're all Boro fans, but realistically, when Boro went 2-1 down at West Brom, I think every single Boro fan everywhere was thinking, that's it now, turn off the radio, turn off the TV. But, you know, there's a comeback spirit, and that's what we need this season, you know?
Good shout there from Bales, mate. I can't see us winning on Wednesday if Wing's injured. He links the midfield and attack, and I don't fancy us creating much without him. It is a worry. If he's not going to play, who is going to take that role on?
Well, you'd think Van La Parra could maybe come in and put Howson or Saville where that swing is.
Yeah, maybe play Saville,
maybe Van La Parra come in. I think we do need, against like Sheffield United, I think you need them players all over the pitch, especially through the middle and on the wings. If it was me personally, I'd go 2 up front, I'd play Michels, Saville, Howson, I'd put Van La Parra in, but I would play Van La Parra, I'd play Tavernier. Get 2 wingers with a bit of pace and a bit of skill and a bit of flair.
Do you not think they might get, I mean, like you say, Sheffield United will be in your faces. Do you not think that's leaving us a little bit too open going...
No, do you know what it could do?
I can't see Tony Pulis going with 2 wingers there. I can't see him doing it,
but I would do it if I was Pulis, because you know for the fact that you've got Mikel there who's realistically reliable. He's got the experience. And on them counter-attacks, if you've got Tavernier sprinting at a full-back, you know everything about Tav and Van La Parra.
Right.
If you've got Britton Hugo waiting in the middle, and that ball comes in, 9 times out of 10, La Parra's going to get out, Tav's going to... You know what I mean? Something can happen. If you play one up front, they're centre-half, so I think they're going to have a field day.
Yeah. Matthew Groves agrees with you. He'd like to see Van La Parra playing. And this Sheffield United fan, he doesn't have much confidence at all. If you take control of the midfield like West Brom did, you'll hammer us. So,
we'll have to wait and see.
Wait and see. There's a few Norwich fans chipping away. Yeah, you've got a lot to sing about the minute. You are doing very well, but the season's not over yet, is it?
Only beat bottom of the league, man. Calm down. We beat them. Beat them twice.
So, like you said earlier, mate, on Sunday we've got our latest reunion with Captain Fantastic Tony Mowbray.
As we go to Harry Chapman.
Harry Chapman, Danny Graham.
Bradley Taxon.
Richie Smallwood, they're all there. Blackburn. Any happy memories from any visits you've been to Blackburn?
I've got many memories. I've got the walk through McDonald's over the road. You ever been there?
No.
You never been to the walk through McDonald's?
No,
if you've been to the walk through McDonald's, then you know what I'm saying. But shout out to me dad Andy. We had Craig with us that day, and my cousin Jason. And,
do you remember what you got to eat?
Do you know what I remember? There's a hedge on your left, and the stadium's there.
Yeah.
And we walked through, and I think you must have got me a cheeseburger or something. I was only a kid. How old would I have been? 2004 when we did them 4-0?
Yeah, now do you know what? That's probably my best memory of going there.
4-0.
Hasselbank got a trick.
Red hot day.
George Boateng
Savage got sent off because he's an idiot. Savage got shown the red card, he started crying. Goal disallowed as well.
And I always remember a lot of Boro fans, because a draw had been done the day before for the group stages of the UEFA Cup as it was then, and we got Villarreal, and there was loads of Boro fans in the away end with sombreros on, because we got Villarreal. So we all went to Blackburn with sombreros on.
Yeah, that one. And the year before then, David Dunn hit a screamer, and you can't take nothing away from the strike. It was pouring down.
Yeah.
There was hardly any Boro fans there, and he come out to him, I think, from that side, and he'd come over to him and hit his right foot, and I was like, that's in, nice one, Boro, and he went straight in the bottom corner. We got beat 1-0.
I think the other thing I always remember about Blackburn is it's nearly always freezing cold and raining.
Yeah.
It's always very cold. I mean, it rains a fair bit here, but it seems to rain even more and being colder in Blackburn.
It's a good away day with Park.
Yeah, it's a good.
It's an old English stadium, isn't it?
Yeah. So, I mean, at the weekend, they were stopped in the tracks a little bit by Bristol City. I mean, they're on an unbelievable run at the minute.
I didn't see it coming, if I'm honest. I mean, listen, whenever you back Blackburn and you accumulate against Bristol City and they let you down, you realise then that it wasn't. But I didn't expect it. I think, haven't Bristol gone 8 games unbeaten?
8 wins in a row. 8 wins on the bounce, League and Cup.
I didn't even know that was
we're in the top 6 now.
That's
one
insane.
point behind us.
But that's a championship for you.
Yeah, it is, mate.
Things can happen all the time.
Yeah.
But, like I say, when Blackburn came down here, I think... And listen, I'm not going to take nothing away from them getting the point that they got. Was it a point they got?
The drew where you won, because we went down to 10 men. Besic gave the ball away and then he got sent off, didn't he? Yeah. I
feel like when they played us down here, it maybe wasn't a true reflection on what we've seen recently, because, like I say, there's a lot of toxicness there. Mm-hmm. And I think they sort of played into that, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
The Besic mistake, him showing the door or showing the red card or whatever. We've got a different sort of mentality away from home than what we do at home. Yeah. And the players were a lot more relaxed, as you heard Pure say, but away from home. Yeah. I feel 3 points on the cards on Sunday. Right, I feel it.
Yeah. Jeff Reid, that's a proper old school memory, that. Alan Kerrigan scoring a hat-trick. Makeshift centre-half, went up front, beat Blackburn away 4-2.
Jeez.
Good stuff, Jeff. Remember that. That was fantastic, that. So, weekend Blackburn. Obviously, if we get a point at Sheffield United, do you think the pressure's on them to get 3 at Blackburn on Sunday, AJ?
I think a point at Sheffield United, Boro fans can't be angry at it.
No.
I just feel like Blackburn away, it's just going into it. I don't know, something's telling me. And normally when I have these good feelings, we often lose. I mean, I had it against Newport. I said it against Burton, we got hammered. Listen, I have a good feeling. It's back, and I don't want to say I've got a good feeling, because I know what happens. I ain't going to say I'm going to jump off the top of the transporter, or I'm going to jump in no rivers. Yeah, I'm not going to do any of that. But what it is, I'm feeling good for Sunday. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling good. And I feel there's a win there. And if I have to give you a prediction for it, I'm going to go 4-0.
4-0.
You go against the hat-trick.
Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank visit the McDonald's.
Aidan Finn gets the header. Yes. So a recreation of the 4-0. That's what I'm going to go. 4-0.
4-0. I'm going to go 2-1, Boro. I fancy just to pinch it 2-1. James, what do you reckon, mate?
James, 2-1.
2-1.
Imagine if it's 4-0.
4-0, that'll be good.
Imagine if it's 4-0.
You have to have a cheeky burger after that, mate.
A recreation of sitting on the left-hand side of the goal. Yeah. A cheeseburger from McDonald's. I have to get the whole recreation going.
That's an idea for the video on Sunday.
There you go.
Just before we go, Matthew Groves reckons, do you reckon the automatic promotion spots have gone for us now? I don't think they have at the minute.
No, they haven't gone.
But I think this week's a big week. We say that all the time, this week's a big week.
But this is a big week, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think, how many points are we off now?
We are now 7 points. Leeds are second. We're 7 points off with a game in hand.
The game in hand, well, we've seen it when we did go up that time. It didn't, you know what I mean? We bottled every single one, didn't we, that time? Yeah. Remember MK Dons, we had Blackburn away, was one, wasn't it? We got beat 2-1.
We lost 2-1, yeah.
Danny Graham, nice one, mate. Yeah. But, like I say, man, our automatics is still there. And if we're going to go up, I would prefer to go for the automatics.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Don't want to go back to Wembley. No. 300 quid last time, we got humiliated. No. So, ideally, it hasn't gone. 7 points there, as you said, 7 points. Listen, you know, if we can pick up 3 points on Wednesday, get another 3 against Blackburn.
Hey, that'd be ideal if that was to happen. It's a big ask. It's a big ask.
Perfectly there, though, doesn't it?
It's a big ask. It's a big week, like you say. We need to. I think we need to win at least one of these 2 aways. We've got to win one of them, and they're both really tough games. Yeah. Like SUFC once said there, I don't underestimate them on Wednesday. And I don't underestimate Blackburn. I think they've only lost 3 games at home all season.
Decent at home. Decent team.
It's tough to win anyway. Anyway, mate, that's about it for the evening. Thanks for joining us on the show. Enjoyed it, mate. Thanks for watching out there, Boro fans of all the other clubs. Love the banter, love the crack. Thanks very much for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe to Boro Fan TV. Until next Monday, from us all here at the Longlands, enjoy your football. Good night and up the Boro.
Up the Boro.
Nice one, mate. Enjoyed that.
Yeah, it's good, man. Good
Stuff.
We're off. No. James giving us a signal. We're not even off. Hello, Boro fans. I'm still here.